Hi, it's Kate from Open Door Counsel and Life Coaching. Today's Money Monday, and I just want to talk to you guys about budgeting. Only 60% of Americans are actually on budgets. Now, budgets can sound a lot like diets, like, I gotta restrict my money. But the reality is this: being on a budget actually gives you the freedom to spend because you're making a plan for every dollar you have, okay? So I just want to tell you guys my quick, brief testimony. A friend of mine told me about the Dave Ramsey baby step plan, and my big goal was to get out of debt. And so I did baby step 1, put $1,000 into my savings account. That took me, I think, about a month or 5 weeks at the time. This was a few years ago. And then I started baby step 2, which was attack my debt, pay off all my debt, listing from the smallest to the largest debt, not thinking about the interest rate so much, but just the total that I owed. So say my first was I owed $300 on a small loan or something. So I pay that off first, and I took that amount then, and I was able to, say I was paying, $30 a month on that. I put everything I could on that one. And as soon as that was paid off, I took that monthly payment that I was making and I put it onto the next one. And I did that. It's called the debt snowball. And I did that. And in 15 months, I paid off about $40,000 worth of debt, which is pretty phenomenal. I was very proud of myself. I have since continued to work the Dave Ramsey baby steps and have found a lot of success financially in that system and that program. And I really like the program. I really like what Dave stands for. But today I want to talk to you specifically about the budgeting piece of that. Now, the idea is that everybody that would work his steps would also budget their money, okay? And you need to know where your money's going in order to do the things of the steps, right? Save, pay off debt, invest, save for kids' college, etc. So I just want to talk to you, if you are married, most often we marry our opposite in that one will be more of a free spirit and one will be more of a nerd. And it's really important that if you're married, that the two of you are on the same page. Now, I understand financially that can be very difficult. However, it's possible, okay? And you want to be on the same page because if you're going to be moving in a direction as a team, you're going to move better when you're moving in the same direction with the same passion to do it, right? So if one of you is really dragging their feet, it's going to be harder to move in the direction. Does that make sense? I'm kind of picturing like the oxen, and then they're yoked together, and one of them is feeling all lazy or like, I don't want to do this, is going backwards. The other one's like, come on, we're doing it. So it's important to get emotionally and mindfully on the same page so you can push in that same direction, whether that's saving or budgeting or investing, etc. Okay, so that's number one first. The second is to introduce something called a zero-based budget. A zero-based budget is simply taking your income, whether that's something like a salary that I'm getting this much per year, that's just how it goes. Hourly, which is what you take in per hour, and oftentimes your paychecks are very consistent. Or if you have irregular income, you can still budget, okay? You take your income, you subtract your expenses, and that should equal zero. So say you take in $3,000 a month, and then you have your expenses, so minus your expenses, your income minus your expenses, that number should equal zero at the end of the month. Okay. Now, this might feel a little overwhelming, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am the last person who wants to deal with numbers. I am not a numbers person. I'm more of a feeler and a dreamer and that kind of person than I am a numbers person. But this is like only 8th grade math. So if I can do it, guys, you could do it. So you take your take-home pay, write that down, whether that's a piece of paper. We'll just put on our little grocery thing I got right here. Take your income and you write that down, and then you list all of your expenses. That's going to include your mortgage or your rent. It's going to include your electricity, your gas, your food, your clothing budget. All the things that you spend money on each month. If you have credit cards, if you have 401k loans, anything that you have, you list all that out. And then you go back. If you don't know the exact dollar amount a month, you can go back and look at like your checkbook or your statements online to see kind of where your money has gone over like the last 3 months. Kind of average that number to get an idea of what you're spending if you don't know an exact number. You put that in, and then you have to make sure to write it down though. So let me just say that, really important. And we can use our grocery list. And for all of your nerds out there, if you like Excel spreadsheets, you do it. But there's something called the every dollar budgeting app. Do you guys know what the Every Dollar budgeting app? It looks like this little green guy right there, ding, which you can't really see because of the light. See him right there? It's called Every Dollar. It's from the Ramsey Solutions, and there is a free version and a paid version, okay? The free version's just fine. You do not have to pay for it, but there are some nice benefits of paying for it, including it connecting to your bank account, which means every time you use your debit card, you have to be accountable to that purchase. Otherwise, you have to save receipts and type them in manually, which is fine. But make sure you write those things down, your take-home pay, and then all of your expenses. And then I want to just mention to you guys, sometimes people don't think of this, and I never did until I started budgeting, is that every month is different. There's not one month that's the same. December has Christmas in it. December is different. November has Thanksgiving, right? We have to make sure we're budgeting. Maybe we're bringing an extra meal or something to someone or a family, and we're in charge of something. We have to come up with that. Maybe you have a kid birthday. We have to budget for that. Maybe somebody's starting college and you got to budget for that, right? So every month is different. So every month you're going to come together with your spouse if you're married, and you're going to talk about it and you're going to discuss it. And it works best when like the nerd of the couple kind of figures it all out, and then they have the what they'll call a budget meeting and just say, hey, this is March. This is what we're planning. This is what I'm planning for us. You take a look. Is there anything I'm missing? Let me know. We can adjust. Be open, both of you. To be successful, you have to be flexible, right? Together. You're working in the same direction. Just remember that. You have the same end goal, is to win with money, right? So every month is different. So make sure you do that monthly budget meeting. And I'm just going to let you know, you will forget things. So make sure to make a miscellaneous category, because it's going to be kind of a catch-all. And if you find that over the time, your catch-all is kind of like a monthly thing or an every other month thing, just go ahead and make it a budget line item. Because if you know it's going to continue to happen, put it in there. And just to let you guys know, it's going to take about 90 days for this budget to actually start to really work, because you're getting used to it. And I just want you to tell you guys, just like have grace with each other, have grace for the system, for the program, because budgeting is a wonderful tool to use. It just takes a little time to get the gears all oiled, okay? And just remember to work within the money that you have. So paying bills with credit cards is a really bad idea, because you're really kind of thinking backwards. It's better to have the money in the bank, pay your bills with the money that you have. And if you're struggling in this area, I would encourage you to take a look at your income, because you may not be making enough, or you may be spending too much on certain things, like Netflix subscriptions or clothing subscriptions or something like that, okay? Sorry to step on anybody's toes, but it's a real thing. We all deal with it. We all have to look at our budget and be honest with ourselves. If you guys would like more information, or if you'd like to sit down with me and let me help you walk through a budget, I'm happy to do that. I am trained through Ramsey Solutions as a financial coach, and I am more than happy to meet with you guys and come up with a budget that is going to get you guys on the same page, in the same direction, to win with money. So hopefully you guys took something away from today, and you can maybe consider doing a budget for yourself. Have a wonderful day. It's Money Monday at Open Door Counsel and Life Coaching.